All right, so today we've got the Watchtower Apache, which is the 2011 made by F1 Watchtower. That's why it's called the Watchtower Apache, not the F1 Firearms Apache. Watchtower Firearms bought F1 Firearms, which was a, whatever. They built like race guns and stuff. And anyways, they made a 2011. So also known as the PewView whatever 2011. But this is not the PewView edition. This is the second generation of the Watchtower Apache, which I was interested in getting this over the PewView one because it is the second generation, because there was some issues with, quality control issues for the first edition of it. Overall, I mean, this is going to be a very positive review. I don't have any issues with this. I think this gun is pretty freaking sick. Right off the bat, one of the best things on this gun, if you forget what it is, you can look right there. It says Apache. That's how you know. Does that say on like your Glock 19? I guess it does. Okay, so focus. All right, so let's go ahead and look through all of the nerdy stuff on this. We'll talk through all the actual specs, and then if you want to just skip ahead to kind of my thoughts on the feeling of the gun, then feel free to do so. But let's go ahead and get into it. And if y'all have not yet, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button. I want to keep making more and more firearms related content and supporting our Second Amendment rights for us lovely civilians. So if you think firearms are not just for the military, then go ahead and click that like and subscribe button and give me some, algorithm love. Because if you're not, then you're not American, is I guess the narrative that I'm pitching here. So that got really intense really quick. All jokes, people. Okay. One of the best features of this gun is right here at the tip of it, and that is the single port compensator. Should it be single port, double port? I don't know. It's got a port and it's big and it helps mitigate recoil. I like the fact that this does not reciprocate with the slide, that it's just, it's on the threaded portion of the barrel here, because that helps minimize recoil, because it's like an extra weight that's just hanging on here to the end of the gun while the rest of the slide is going back. The barrel on this gun is a bull barrel, and it is 4.6 inches long. The barrel is 17.6 inches in diameter, which most of the other barrels on your regular Glocks and whatnot, I think are closer to like 11 to 12 millimeters, I think. The slide itself is very slick. It looks kind of like satiny, the finish on it. And yes, there is a difference in, I guess the lower of the frame is a little more smooth than the upper of the frame. I don't know. I mean, maybe that'll bother some people. I could care less. The smoothness of this is what I care more about. That is far and away the smoothest gun that I own. Just because of the PVD coating. And so anyways, I'm losing myself. The slide serrations, those are super necessary because that is so slick that if you did not have those aggressive slide serrations, and they're not very sharp. I mean, let me see if I can get this up close. They're good so that you can grab good purchase on them, but they're not going to like cut your hand. Like if y'all have ever shot the CZ SP01s, those have some slide serrations on it where I'm like, what is this? Like, why did we put a razor on this freaking gun? This is not nearly that sharp, but it just lets you get a good amount of purchase and racket. And then the optics plate, going back here, this optics plate is made by Atlas Gunworks. It is their standard kind of system, I guess. Where the one that comes with this gun is cut for the SRO. And if you want to get another plate, then I think it's like $80, $90 or something to get another plate for another optic. There's nothing that direct mounts to this. Moving on to the slide lock right here. Slide lock is very good. There was some people complaining on the first iteration of this that there was some like play in the slide lock and it wasn't working right. Mine fits perfectly. And then the fit and finish between the upper and the lower here is pretty spot on. I mean, I've got my, microphone that's hiding right out of camera here. So, like there's no play between this like upper and lower. Yeah. So, I mean, there's really no play there. The safety on this is my next favorite thing on this. This one is pretty well sprung from the factory. So, doing your manipulations of the safety, so you go on target, you flip it off, and then you come off a target, you flip it up. It's very, very easy to actuate with one hand. So definitely like that feeling of the safety. The hammer back here is skeletonized. What does a skeletonized hammer do other than look cool? I mean, that's pretty much it. Go ahead and get a trigger pull on camera for y'all here, and I will make myself not look stupid this time by holding the grip safety down. So we've got this, and I need to turn this thing on. And there we go. Okay, so off. Let's put it on and then give it a tug. And it didn't work. Awesome. Okay. Well, you gotta cock it again. There we go. Okay. So 2.2, 2.3, 1.15. So, I mean, it's pretty close to 2-pound trigger pull. Okay, there we go. And the reset. Yeah, it's pretty quick. So yeah, there's a little take up there, wall, and break. So very nice crisp break. I like this trigger a lot. Yeah, so right around 2-pound trigger pull. And then kind of looking at the lower of this gun, we've got the mag release, which, is it ambi? I have no idea. I'm not even gonna talk about that. It looks like it's ambi. There's a screw. So I'm guessing you can flip it over if God hated you. All right, so the lower on this gun is far and away the most hotly debated topic of it. A lot of people hate it. I think most of the hate for the grip comes from the fact that it's not aluminum, and specifically from the first generation of this, which had this like weird, like, I think it was printed, like 3D printed from somewhere. This is the second generation, so it has an updated grip module, and this grip module is made by MJD Solutions and is featuring a carbon fiber and Kevlar infused nylon grip module. So all that means is that it's a composite grip module, polymer grip module, and in my opinion, it does a great job at mitigating and absorbing recoil. And, you know, you've got the compensator absorbing recoil or mitigating some, and the bull barrel, and then the stainless frame on this thing. And then the grip module is kind of the last piece that absorbing whatever's left is just getting eaten up there. And this gun just feels so good. Oh, wait, real quick. We got the safety on this. The grip safety, I think the grip safety is great. It is very easy to actuate. Pull this back. And I'm going to put some pressure on the trigger, and then you'll just see, like, yeah, barely any pressure at all. And that goes. I mean, you pretty much just have to be like touching a little bit. So I think that's a great grip module. I like the grip safety. Okay, so put all this stuff together. How does this gun feel? So thanks, Andy. So that's, I think, going to summarize how it feels much better than I can possibly do it with words. I mean, it feels great, guys. The return to zero on this gun is just stupid. I mean, honestly, I have a P226 X5 Reserve that I just made a video about earlier. In my opinion, the Apache recoils and feels a little bit better than the X5 Reserve. And I think most of that is due to the compensator being not reciprocating, whereas on the X5 Reserve, it's part of the slide, so it goes back and forth. So yeah, I mean, just the way this feels and allows you to present and follow up shots quickly, and then mixed in with the safety. Once you get plenty of reps in with this gun, I mean, dude, like, it's just wild how fast you can run a gun with this. So then it's like, what is this gun for? Competition use, home defense, or is this a range toy? For home defense, there's a good use case to use this as, you know, your main home defense firearm. I think the only thing that's holding me back from using it as a home defense gun right now is that it's just reliability on it, and that's not a knock on it. I just want to establish reliability with the gun. So for competition use, though, I think that, you know, this would be super fun to run in a competition. I think that if you are looking to like win anything in a competition, you're not going to use this gun because it has a compensator on it, which is going to force it into the open division. So then it's like, as good as this is, it is not a dedicated race gun, which is what it has to go compete against. Saying like, I've got, you know, this, I've got a Durango SRT, right? So this is if you're a car person, It's a SUV. It's a 3-row SUV baby hauler, but it has a 475 horsepower V8 engine, naturally aspirated. So it's got an amazing engine in it. But like, if I had to go enter it into a race, I would be racing against, you know, all these other insane Corvettes and whatnot, and would just get totally smoked, because it's like, yeah, it's cool, but like, why? So yeah, I would not recommend it for competition use unless you know that you're going to get cleaned out by all the race guns. Range toy though, absolutely, this is an amazing range toy. I think the best use case for this right now, for me specifically as a developing shooter and getting quicker into these USPSA drills, and really trying to, you know, refine my skill set with this gun, it recoils so well that I don't have to think, is the red dot, am I tracking the red dot, am I target focused? Like, the red dot's pretty much going to stay within the window. It just lets me put mental energy elsewhere to developing my skill set. So I think that is a tremendous plus of this gun. But then, you know, it kind of goes into like, okay, well, is it worth $4,000? Like, I think the value argument for a 2011 like this is silly. I don't think that, is it worth $4,000? Like, what are we talking about? Like, at this point, I mean, it's $4,000 for a gun. Like, if you're saying, oh, well, I'm buying this because it's worth it, like, no, you're on something. I mean, but I would say that for an Atlas as well. Like, why are you spending $6,000-$7,000 on a gun? Well, it's because you want to. It's not. It's fun at that point. So I think that, you know, there's no really reason here to kind of approach this from that mindset. I just think it's definitely a great. I think it's an awesome gun, and I'm super happy with it, and, you know, definitely ready to put, you know, a significant amount of rounds through this and just see how fast I can push myself with this gun. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I've got. So let me know if y'all want to see other guns, or if you've got other things that you want me to look at or review, or you know, got any thoughts for me on this one. So awesome. Thanks for y'all.